In this video, we are going to be making a iOS app from scratch. And so we're going to go through the entire process, the design, execution, and at the end of the video, we are going to have an entire app made without writing a single line of code. Now, when it comes to ideas about creating an app, there are all kinds of apps that you can create. The App Store is filled with lots of apps. But for this specific tutorial, I'm going to be making an app that allows you to browse Entrepreneur magazine, one of my favorite magazines. And so this is the front page here, and there's a lot of articles, a lot of content, and this is gonna be a great idea, a great template for creating an app. And so actually Entrepreneur magazine already has an app, and so if you go to the App Store on the iOS platform, you're gonna see their app, and they have a couple of screenshots here, and you actually don't really need to download this app just to get an idea of how it works, because it's very evident. It's very self-explanatory. We have the basic homepage here with different content. We have the different types of content. It says latest, most popular, starting a business, leadership. And then you have your typical list view, and then you have a gallery view. And so that is exactly what we're going to be doing today. The final app may not look exactly like this app, their official app, but it's going to look very similar. And the tool we're going to be using is going to be Adalo, which I believe is one of the easiest tools for going out and making an app. Now, I'm not affiliated with Adalo by any means. I just like their tool, and so I'm going to be showing you how you can create an iOS app without writing a single line of code. And so all you have to do is click on this button to sign up, and you will be able to get started. Now, when you sign up, you're going to be at various screens, and here I have a sample app that I created based on one of their templates. So if you go in here and you do create a new app, and you do a native mobile app, and you click next, you're going to have a bunch of templates that you can pick from that, and there are also various other apps that you can clone, but it's very similar to this. And let's say we're starting from scratch. And let's say I want to clone this app. Okay, I'm going to click on next, and this is exactly the screen I'm going to see. Now, we are going to be building an app from scratch, like I show, which I believe is the best way to teach how to build this app without writing a single line of code. But when you are trying to familiarize with Adalo, it's always a good idea to open one of their templated apps just to see how things work. And what you have here is a series of screens, and you have arrows that shows the relationship between one screen and another. And it's a little bit of a mess right here. And so I wouldn't pay too much attention to this. It's all going to be understandable as you go and start building the app. But quickly, this is kind of your splash screen. You have a sign-up page. You have a login. You have another sign-up page for creating a profile in case you don't have one. You have various categories, dates, date details, favorited. You can create a date, you have your profile, edit profile, and you have a congrats screen after, I believe, you create a date. So this is kind of a little bit of a different flow. Typically, the flow goes this way as you start using the app. But in case you choose to create an account or create a date, you have an extension of this flow. And so it's a fairly... it may look a little bit complicated, but it's actually a very simple way to create these apps. And so what we're going to do is we're going to click on this. We're going to create a brand new app. It's going to be a native mobile app. We're going to click next, and we're going to create a blank app. We're going to create next, and we're going to call this app Entrepreneur Magazine. Okay, we're going to do that. We're going to click on create. And once we do that, Adalo goes out and creates a little scaffolding for us. It's basically a template that we can start using in order to build on this app. Now, we do not need these screens here, but I'm going to still leave them because this is decent functionality, sign up, login. But in case you don't need it, all you have to do is just delete it right here. And so I'm going to do that. You can just click on this name right here, and then you can press the delete button, or you can, and then you can press Control-Z to undo it, in case you made a mistake. And right now we see three screens here. We have your typical sign-up flow, and this is very typical of these apps and apps in general. In case you want to have a user sign up, you want to store some kind of user-specific data specific to them, which is a decent idea. And then we have the basic home screen. And so the way I envision this app, let's go back to our website, is that this app is going to have a bunch of tabs underneath, and on each of these tabs is going to show different things. So if you look at this Entrepreneur Magazine, it has different tags here, topics. It has this tag, it has leadership, it has Twitter, it has finance, and all of these are categories on Entrepreneur. And if you want to think about Entrepreneur Magazine, you can think of it as a blog with different categories. So if you hover over this, you're going to see topic Twitter, topic finance. I don't know if they use WordPress, but WordPress also has that same URL convention. We have personal health, success strategies. And so what I decided is we're going to do one for finance, we are going to do one for personal health, and we are going to do one for success strategies. Maybe we'll do another one as well. So let's go and see if we can pick another, something interesting. News and trends. How about news and trends? So we're going to do that. So we're going to have 4 tabs where they can browse specific areas, and they're going to have a list of these topics, and then they can click on something, and they're going to have a detailed piece of content there. And maybe we'll also have a tab for favorite articles. So maybe I'm looking at an article in finance, and I decide, okay, I really like this article. Are you going to pawn? Don't be fooled. Use these tips to spot fraudulent shops. So let's say I like this article. I want to favorite it because I want to read it again. Maybe I want to share it with somebody. And so this could be a nice functionality. So if we have time, we might do that as well. And so let's get started. But before we can actually code this app, we need to get the data, okay? And so there's lots of ways of getting the data. You can get in using an API. You can get data if you already have the data in Google Sheets. You can essentially import data, because if I go into Adalo here and I go to our app that we started to build, if you go to this database tab here, we only have one collection, and they call it collections. If you have any familiarity with the relational database, this is called a table. So it's really the same thing, collection or table. We only have a user collection, and that is used for authentication. So whenever I go to sign up, I will essentially have a row in this table. So if I expand it, I'm going to have my email, password, username, and full name, which is what I need to fill in. And Adalo takes care of the rest. So forget password, that is their built-in functionality, sign up, login. All of this is built-in functionality. Of course, I can delete these screens, and we're not going to deal with this user table, but I'm going to leave it in just for the sake of this tutorial. But we also need to create another collection. So I'm going to click on this button, add collection, and I'm going to write articles. Okay, I'm going to do articles. And essentially, you can do it however you want. You can have various collections for various topics. But I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to have articles. I'm going to click on add. And then I'm going to click on the 0 records. And we have this screen here. And there's no data yet because we haven't created anything. I can click on add article. And I can, create a name. And right now, there is only the name field. Okay, so we need to add more fields. So we need to add more properties. They call it properties, field, same thing. And so let's think about the kind of properties we want to have. We're going to have the name of the article. We need another article. We need another property for the body, the actual body of the article. And that's going to be body. This is text. We're going to hit save. The next property we need is a property for topics. Okay, so we're going to go on text, and we're going to call it topic. Very, very simple. Another property we might need is date. Okay, when was it published? When was it published? There are a couple of dates there that we can use, but those are built in. So I want to create a couple of fields as well. So we have name, body, the topic, published. Let's go back to our website and see. So we can have a couple of more. We can have the name of the writer. We can have how long it takes to read. We can have the date. We already have the date. And so let's click on a specific article. Let's say I want to go to Twitter. I open it up, and let's take a look at this article. And yeah, so I think this is a good idea. You can have as many, you can obviously have as many fields as you want. Maybe you want to think about other fields as well. But for the purpose of this tutorial, we are going to keep it very, very simple. And so we have that. We have our fields in our Adalo app. We have name, body, topic, published. We can always add fields later. Another one that you can have maybe an image field. You can add an image field here as well, so you can have an image, and this maybe could be, you know, a featured image that we can display that image there, so we can have a featured image, something like this as well. And these are optional fields. We do not need to. Maybe some articles don't have images. That is going to be absolutely fine. And so now if we click on 0 records, we have all of these fields there. They're all here, and we can add an article. And so right when we click to add an article, we can start adding articles. And you can do it this way. You can do it the manual method. You can do it using an API, which is something I'm going to cover in one of the future videos as well. But in terms of this video, I'm going to keep it very, very simple. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to one of their topics, and we are just going to get the data. We're just going to grab the data here. So we have a topic finance here. And this is all of these articles are part of finance. Okay, we have investments, finance. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use a Chrome plugin to extract the name of these article titles. Okay, and this plugin is called Scrape, and you can download it in the Chrome Web Store. It's absolutely free. It only supports the Chrome browser, so it doesn't work with Safari, and maybe Firefox has its own version. And so all you have to do is you just go to entrepreneur.com/topic/finance. You're going to right click on one of these articles, and you're going to go to Scrape Similar. And right away, you have the 7 articles that we just got. So all you have to do is copy to clipboard. And once you copy to clipboard, you want to go and grab Google Sheets, and you want to create a new Google Sheet. Everybody has Google Sheets. They're 100% free, so you can use it. And I'm going to call it entrepreneur.com because that is where we are getting, that is what we're focusing on. That is where we're getting the data. And so we're going to create a bunch of headers here in these columns here. And so it's going to be title, it's going to be body, it's going to be, these columns are going to match the fields in our data type, data source. So we have name, body, topic, published and featured image. So we're going to do that. We're going to have name, body, what do we have? Topic, date, published date. I'm going to just make it date, and then image. Very, very simple. So I'm going to go and paste the name because remember, we just copied it. So now we have the name here. It has this text. I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to delete this here. And then I'm going to go back and do the same thing for the body. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing for the body. And this is more of an excerpt. We cannot get the whole body here, and that's fine, just to start with. And so remember, all we want to do is right-click on this and go to Scrape Similar, and that's going to grab the excerpts there. And I'm going to do copy to clipboard. We are going to go back to our Google Sheets, and I'm going to paste it in here. And so it has that text in there. I'm going to delete it. And I'm going to move all of these up because that text is kind of messing things up. But you guys understand. Topic is going to be finance. So I'm going to click finance, and I'm going to double click on this, and it's going to pre-fill it. And for the date, let's go back to finance. I'm going to do the same thing. Right click, Scrape Similar, and we have all the dates. Copy to clipboard. We are going to go back, and we are going to do this. We're going to delete this. And we're going to select all of these, drag and drop them. And then we have the images as well. So you can right click, go for Scrape Similar, and you're going to get the URLs of the images. And so we can copy that, and we are going to paste them into this field. Okay, and so it has a couple of other fields there. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to delete this. Select this, and we're going to drag and drop it here. Now that we have the data, and filling the data is very simple as long as you know which tools to use. The crux of the matter, the heart of the problem is actually creating the app. And so I'm gonna do a couple of quick fixes. I'm gonna bold this so that it's a little bit easier to see. And what you want to do is you want to double check you have all the fields match up to your to the app that you have, to the data: name, body, topic, published, featured image. This is actually featured, a little typo, featured image. We're going to save that. Now we're going to click on here, and now we can import a so-called CSV file, which is essentially a database file, if you want to call it. CSV stands for comma-separated values, and that's exactly what we're going to have. So you want to click on File, and you want to click on Download, and you want to click on comma-separated values. Once you do that, Google Sheets is going to send the data. Now it downloaded here. And we are going to go back to Entrepreneur Magazine, and we're going to click on this Import CSV, and we're going to drag and drop it here. And right away, as you can see, the fields match up properly. These fields here are what it found in our spreadsheet, and these are the fields that are in Adalo in the data structure. And so you want to see if they match up. We did everything correctly. We have the data type. We even have the names that match up, and we're going to click on Import Data. And that's going to import our 6 records. And we can always add more records. We can always do it correctly. So it doesn't have a featured image for this article, but it does have the images for the other one. So we're going to click on Done. And now we have 7 records. We have actually 7 records here. And this is the image. So it looks like the images weren't properly updated yet. And that is absolutely fine. We can simply upload a new image later. That is no issues at all. So we're going to click on Done. The most important thing is you want to start building the app to make sure that it's going to work how you want it to work. So we already have one of our first screens here. And this screen is going to be used for, well, it could be used for anything. What do we have? We have finance, personal success, and news and trends. So let's use it for finance just for fun of it, right? We can just use it for finance. And what you want to do is you want to click on this plus, and you want to search for tab. We have a tab bar. You're going to drag that here, and right away it's here. And then when you go to this tab bar, when you click on this component, you can modify the field. So this is going to be home. I'm going to call it, actually, let's call this latest, all the latest stuff. Let's call the second one. The second one is going to be called finance. Okay, we're going to change the icon here. You can click on it and maybe put money in there, and it has this this dollar sign there. That looks pretty cool to me. Next, we're going to go to the third tab, and we're going to change it to personal health or just health. So yeah, that doesn't fit. Let's keep it health. Very simple. And we are going to see if there's a cool icon that's something like this. We have health. What is this one? Hearing, actually. Hearing. Health. Okay, there we go. That looks like a healing. Okay, so I'm not the best person when it comes to picking different icons. You can pick a better icon if you want. Maybe doctor, actually. Let's see, doctor, nurse. No, nothing like that. Hospital. Okay, how about this one? That looks like a decent icon. Health. Next is we're gonna have success strategies. So we're gonna go to the 4th tab, and we're gonna pick strategies. Strategies, and doesn't fit. How about success? Success. That looks pretty good. And we're going to pick an icon here. And let's see what kind of icon we can pick. Maybe a check mark or something like this for success. I know that's a strange. Oh, that looks like a cool icon. It's a network check, but I don't know. Let's see. Let's take a look. What do we have? We have a lot of icons, and maybe I don't want to spend too much time on this. Maybe you'll have better ideas for these icons. I'm going to put a check mark just because it's getting stuff done. That's what I'm thinking about. Last but not least is going to be news and trends. So we're going to go to the 5th tab, and we're going to type news. Okay, and we're going to see if there's a news icon. News and trends. So how about this one? New, I don't know. Something like this. And now we have 5 tabs. Unfortunately, we don't have the latest. We're going to get that in a second, but we do have the finance, okay? And so what you want to do is the finance is going to be another view. You want to select the view. You want to copy and paste it. You want to create a new view. And this view is actually going to be called the finance view, okay? Because this is the latest view. So we're going to go in here. We are going to rename this to latest. Okay, I think that makes sense. And this is going to be the finance view. We're going to click on this, rename it to finance, okay? And so the finance view, we want to make sure that the active tab is the 2nd tab, okay? So for the finance view. And now we are going to get our data. We're going to display our data. So we're going to go back to this plus. We are going to go for a simple list here. We're going to drag and drop it. Drag and drop it here. That looks pretty cool. You can also drag and drop another one here because it's also going to be a list. And now we have a list. And now what is this a list of? We only have articles. we want to filter. We don't want to display all articles. We actually want articles. So we're going to go create a new filter. And this is going to be topic is equal to finance. Okay, we do not want. This first filter is actually like more of a user filter. It's more of a general filter. We're going to leave it to all, and we're going to do finance here. And so sorting, we can do sorting if you want. That's really up to you. And now we're going to have the article. So let's say if we preview it, let's see how the app looks like right now. We're going to preview. We're going to go to finance. Actually, we cannot go to finance because we do not have that action. So we're going to go back to the tab, and we're going to go to the second app when we need to attach an option to it. And this is going to be a link to the finance screen. And now we have an action. This is the transition. Now it's going to work. So we're going to go to preview. We're going to go click on finance here. And now we have the finance. As you can see, our data is properly being showed up. It actually has the images that are showing up as well. So the images are working, except for this first image, which is absolutely fine. So the images are working. So there's a couple of things that we still need to do. Remember, we want to make sure that we can click on it, and it can go to the detail page right now. So let's do that right now. And so the app is starting to come together piece by piece without writing a single line of code. I just want to fix up the app real quick. We're going to drag it up. And if we go into the preview, let's see if the items are showing up correctly. So the subtitle is not showing up correctly. That is because it's not mapped to anything. So if we go down, if we click on this and we go to title, as you can see, title is article name, but the subtitle is nothing. So we're going to delete this. We're going to click on this button, and we want the body there. Okay, we want the body, and the body is kind of the excerpt. So we're going to click on the body, and this is what is going to show up. These are all the things that you can do. You can also create a new formula, and the formula can specify how much of the body you want to show. There's a lot of functions. You can do a lot of interesting things here. You can do some logic, some very interesting logics. And this is something I'm going to be talking about later on. There's a couple of interesting things. And so if we put a body in there and we delete this current formula, now it's going to be showing up correctly. So if we go to preview and we go to our finance tab, you see that now you have a little bit of an excerpt there. And so what we want to do now is when they click on it, we want them we want the app to go to the new screen. Now, this kind of navigation, I want to do it here because this is what I call a kind of, it just goes, it doesn't move along the tabs, but it goes deeper. So any kind of depth type navigation, you wanna list it here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click plus. So if you go to the add screen instead of the component, you're going to see a lot of different screens here. We have the basic screens. And I want to do an info screen. So info is what I mean, like one of these depth type screens. And so there's a couple of things, a couple of different screens that you can pick. And I like this info screen. It's pretty cool. I'm going to click on it, and we're going to call this the finance detail. Finance detail. We're going to click on create screen, and there it is. And so I'm going to move this screen below just to give an idea that it's actually a screen related to this. And what we want to do is when they click on it, we want to trigger an action that's going to go to this finance detail. Okay, so we essentially need to click on this list. If you scroll down, once you click on that component, you can add an action. This is going to be a link to finance detail here. Push and send this data. We want the current article. So we're going to do that. Now we can click on it and we can map the fields, because remember, this screen has fields of its own. It has an image, it has text, and has a button. So maybe the button is going to be favorites, maybe it's going to be something else, whatever. We also want to have this. We want to have the tab as well, and the tab is going to be sent to finance. And so they can click on it if you want. They can go back. It's a very good idea to have tabs. It is optional. You don't need to have a tab. But right now, we need to map the field. So I'm going to click on images, and I'm going to select the image source. We're going to go to the database. We're going to go to current article, featured image. We're going to select the text. We are going to delete all of this. We're going to click on this button, current article body. Okay, we're going to do that. Click action. There's no click action. We're going to preview. Let's see what the app looks like. So once we preview it, we're going to go to finance. We're going to click on this, and it goes over here. Here are the most important steps. So this article doesn't have an image. Let's go to an article that does, and there you go. You have some piece of text here, and this is the exact piece of text that I believe that we had here. So if we go back, this is one right here. Our quantum. This is about our quantum computers, right? So this is kind of an excerpt that we have, and this is what we're saying. We have a button here, and we have our tab here. So we can always go to another tab, which I'm going to configure in a second as well. And then you have finance detail. You have all these interesting things. So let's go and configure our tab real quick. So the first tab is going to go to the latest. Second tab, finance. Everything is configured. Everything is good. Let's see. So we have this button here, and I'm not really sure what to do with this button. Let's put this body a little bit maybe higher, somewhere around here. We have the image. We have that's working. We can click on that. The name of the screen is finance detail. Finance detail here. We can also have a title somewhere. If you want images configured, everything is configured. We have an app bar, fill color. We have the title here. And so the title for the app bar, I actually want to display the name of the article. So we're going to delete that. I'm going to click on this. Current article is going to be name. And that way it's going to show the article name. So if we preview it, you're going to see why that is a lot better. So now it has the app. We're going to go to finance. We're going to click on this one. And now it has the name of the article. This is the name of the article. It's a little bit long. You might want to do something with it later on, but at least it's displaying. And so I'm going to quickly do the same screens for the rest of them. It's going to be very easy to do because all I need to do is copy and paste. So I'm going to paste it. This is our health. I'm going to go, this is the active tab is the third tab. I'm going to copy this. This is going to be the success. Let's go back. Let's set the active tab is the fourth tab. And then I'm going to paste this. And this is going to be the fifth tab. Active tab, the fifth tab. So we have all of these set up. And now I'm going to quickly do so now we have to configure it. So it's articles of, this is health. I'm going to put health. We have health here. This is health. This is going to be success. And this is going to be news. And we don't have the data for it just yet, but that is absolutely fine. We're gonna get it. So this is health, success, and news. If we go back here, we want to go to our app bar. We're going to click on app bar. We want to modify the title. And so this is no longer home. This is going to be actually, this is health. So we're going to click on this and we are going to type health here. And we're going to do the same thing here. Success, app bar, title. And this is going to be success. We are going to go here. And we're going to go to app bar, title, and this is going to be news. Okay. So now we have this. Now we just need to create the simple pages. But before we do that, we need to get the right content. Now the idea is the same. You have to do the exact step that I did before, but I don't want to repeat myself because it's going to make the video unnecessarily long. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and I'm going to copy this content. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to change the type of content. So I'm going to pick this and I'm going to scroll it down, except in this case it's going to be health. And I'm going to expand this here. It's a little bit longer here. So now we have 7, I believe, 7 finance, 7 health. I'm going to paste it again. This is going to be success. I'm going to paste it down. Just so that something shows up on the data, because you can do this later on. And now we are missing, what are we missing? Let's go back to the app. Latest finance, health, success, and news. And so we are missing news, I believe. Yeah, we don't have news, so I'm going to have news, and we're also missing latest. So we need latest as well. So I'm going to drag and drop this here. And then I'm going to paste this, and I'm going to put latest. Latest, and you're going to scrape it using this tool or however you're going to get it. I'm getting this from the website for the purpose of this tutorial. Maybe you're going to get it some other way. Now we have finance, health, success, news, and latest. We have all 5 different categories. So we're going to go back to the app And before we do that, we want to export this new list. So I'm going to click on download, comma separated values. Now I have this new list. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to delete the old data because we got some new data. So I'm going to select all this and I'm going to delete these records. Okay, because now, we're going to have copies of these records. We're going to do import CSV, drag and drop this new file, double check that it's properly mapped. It is, import data. And now it's going to have a ton. So we're going to have a ton of data here. And it's basically copies with different category. We have 35 records, and that's exactly how much we needed to have. We have 5 times 7 records each. We have 35 records. And now all we need to do is configure it so it gets displayed the right thing. So we're going to go back to home. We're going to click on this. This is a list of articles. We're going to add a new filter. Column is topic. It's going to be latest. Okay, latest here. This is going to be health. Health is set. Yeah, we configured it already. Success and news. So everything is configured correctly. This is all. We have the first tab. Let's see, first tab latest. Second tab is finance. Yeah, it's all set up correctly. Let's see if the data is showing up. So we're going to load the app. And so this is our home. We want to change it to latest. We're going to go to finance. We want to also change it to finance here. We're going to go to health. Okay, so health is not working yet. Let's go and fix that. So let's fix it one thing at a time. We're going to go to the app bar. We're going to go to title, and this is going to be latest. This is going to be latest. We are going to go here. We're going to go to title. This is going to be finance. Okay, this is, let's go to the app bar. This is health. This is success. So it's all set up here. Title news. Okay, so that is all set up. Now we want to make sure that the tabs are working correctly. So we have the first tab and we have latest. So it's actually the default tab. But the second tab is going to be a link. So if we click on the link, we have a push transition. It could have no transitions. It's really up to you. In my case, since this is tabs, we don't really want any transitions because transitions work well when you're doing something like this. So this could be a transition here. But in this example, we kind of don't want any transitions because these are all at the same level. And so we have the second tab, the third tab. It's actually not set up. The third tab is not set up. It's not configured to actually link. So we're going to go to the third tab here, and we're going to add an action to our link to our one of these fields here. So this is finance 34. So we need to modify it just to make sure that we understand exactly what we're linking. So this is latest. This is finance. This is going to be called health. So as you can see, these are the names of the screens, and these are the names or are the titles actually on the screen themselves. So you want to make sure your names are consistent as well. So I'm going to change finance to health here because we copied and pasted, and that is why we have a lot of finances. So I'm going to go to here to success. I'm going to click on this. This is success. I'm going to click on this right here. This is going to be news, and now it's going to be a lot easier to kind of deal with it. As you can see, we have finance detail already set up. And so now we're going to do it correctly. I'm going to go to the third tab. We are going to add an action, and this is going to be a link to health. We do not want any transition, none. We are going to add the fourth action, and this is going to be add action to link. And this is going to be a fourth action to our success. So we have success here. We do not want anything. We're going to click on done. The fifth action is going to be news. We're going to add an action link. News right here. We do not want any transition. None. This is done. And now we have a bar that's working perfectly. In fact, what we can do is we can actually change these bar around. We're going to delete all these bars, and we're going to use this bar because it has everything we need, except, so we're going to paste it. We're going to drag it. We're going to paste it again. Drag it, paste it again. drag it, paste it again, and drag it. The only thing we need to do is change the defaults now. And so active tab is second. That's a lot easier than changing each tab's destination, each tab's view. Third, this is fourth, and this is fifth. Okay, so now we have everything working. Let's preview it and let's see what the app is doing. So we have latest, we can click on finance, now it's finance. Health, we have health, we're gonna go to success, we have success, and news, we have news. So everything is working exactly how we wanted to do, except now we need to make sure that the tabs are working correctly as well. And so the only thing that we have to fix right now regarding the tabs is the actions. Right now we have it set up on the first tab, but we want to make sure that the latest, so the first tab is actually configured, because we copied it here and it's not configured here. So we need to fix it up. We're going to add an action for the latest tab. This is going to be latest. We're going to click, we do not want this, we want none. We're going to do this. Second is already configured. Third, all of these are configured. We're going to go in here. We're going to go to the first tab. We're going to add an action. This is link to latest, none. And so we are going to go back here, set the first tab, add an action, link latest. This is going to be active first tab. See, it doesn't have it. So it has a text, but it doesn't have an action. So you can add an action. You can go to link. Link is going to be latest. Okay, so now we have it all set up. We're going to preview it right now. Just do a quick check. And so we're going to go to finance. We can go back to latest. We can go to health. We can go back to latest. Finance, health, finance, finance, news. Go back to finance. Except in the news, it's doing a push. We do not want any transition. We're going to click on done. All right, so now it's working fine. The transitions are working okay. And so the next thing that we want to do is we want to add a detail page really quick. And this is also very, very easy to do, very simple. What we want to do is we want to make sure that when they click on this, it goes to the detail page. So we have a link here, and this is going to be a link to our current article, and this is going to be to finance detail. And so let's take a look at this. We also have a link to finance detail. And so what we have to do is we have to take this, we have to drag it and paste it. So we're going to have a copy of it. And so what I did is I copied this one here and I made several copies of it and I pasted it on the screen. And so now we have a bunch of copies here. So I'm going to drag it below it. Just like this, I'm going to drag this one below and then we're going to connect them. We're going to center them all nicely. Okay, and I'm going to drag it here. I probably made a little bit too many copies, so we do not need these two. We're going to delete them. And that's really nice about this tool, that it allows us to, to make these copies very easily. So I'm going to copy another one here, and I'm going to go make it as a detail for the latest. And so now we just need to connect them together. And you want to begin by changing the names. This is going to be latest detail. We're going to change this to latest detail. We're going to do that. We're going to make this finance detail. We already have it, finance detail. This is going to be health detail. Health detail. And this is going to be a success detail. Success detail and news detail. And very simple news detail, just like that. And we have them all configured. Now we just need to make sure that when they click on it, it goes to the right screen. And so if we have this, if we click on this and if we scroll down, we have a click action, finance detail, finance detail. So I have it here. I have a mistype here. This is actually finance detail, finance success news. So okay, that's actually looking good. So if I click on this, it's going to go to finance detail. Now we can have a transition. And the transition I want is maybe slide right. Let's see how that looks. We're going to preview this real quick. We're going to go to finance and click on this. And so, yeah, we want the other one. I always get them mixed up. Slide left. That's the one you want. You want to look at the error. So we have these titles here. And now we just need to link it. We need to add a click action to the latest detail. This is a link to the latest detail. We have latest detail here, and this is going to be slide left. Current article. Same thing here for the health. We are going to add an action. We already have a link, but this is to finance. We need to change it to our health detail. And as you can see, the arrow changes, and it's going to be slide left. Current article, and same thing for this. We're going to click on this, scroll down, click on the action. This is going to be success detail. There's our success detail. We are going to have slide left. Done. And last but not least, news. Link. It's going to be success detail, news detail. News detail, current article. All right, so now we have all the detailed pages set up. And it's kind of nice is that it flows this way by the tabs, by the position of the tabs. As you can see, you have from left to right, latest, etc., etc. And then you flow this way, and it's the same thing. And now we all are flowing this way. Now, the only thing we need to change is that we need to change the tabs, the default tabs again, because it's a copy. So we're going to click on this article, and we want to make sure the default tabs are correctly. So we're going to click actually on the tab component, and the active tab is the first tab. This is going to be the third tab. Active tab is the third tab, fourth tab, right here, and then fifth tab. We have fifth tab. All right, so now we have all the details, and obviously I would recommend honing in, because if you want to change this later on, you will have to change it in a lot of this content. You can also make it dynamic, and that is something I'm going to be talking about in some of the future videos as well. But in this video, I just wanted to show you different ways of doing it, and this is one of the easiest tools to do it. And so we have a button here. This button can be anything. You can favorite it, and favoriting is very, very easy. All you have to do is, well, you want to call it favorite, so we're going to call it favorite. And what you're going to do is when they click on favorite, we're going to create a new field in the database called favorite. And it's going to be a Boolean one, so it's going to be yes or no, true or false. So if they favorite it, we're going to update this article to a true, because by default, none of them are going to be favorites. And then we can have another tab. Obviously, we're having too many tabs, but maybe we can remove one of these tabs, and we can have a favorites tab. And that way, when they click on one of these tabs, it's going to do a filter, only show the favorite articles. And that's very, very easy to do. And so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to rename these buttons, and I'm going to leave that for you as an exercise to do later on. So I urge you to do exactly what I did, and then go out and try to extend some functionality, specifically do the favorite tab as well. So you can have favorite, 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 or you can do another functionality that you want. So let's preview the app. Let's see how the app is right now, how it's working. So we have latest, finance, health, success, news. And let's say I'm on the news. I want to click on this, and it opens up a new article. I can click on favorite, and it's not, I don't even know what it's linked to right now. It's like it's not linked to anything. And obviously there's more functionality that you can do. You can expand it. Like I said before, if you're building an app that you for something else, you have access to an API. You don't need to use Google Sheets in that method. And that is something I'm going to be talking about in some of the future videos. But right now we have a simple app. There's lots of other things that you can do. You can have a button that tells them, hey, you know, a recommendation or maybe a suggestion, or something where maybe a suggestion for a new article. You can have a tab here, click on it, and it's going to have a form, because you can also do form here. So pretty much anything that you want to do, you will be able to do using this tool. So if I click on plus and if I type form, we have various forms that you can do. And this form can make a request on some third-party website. It can input data into a new collection. You can go to a database. We can create maybe a new collection called suggestions, and people can add suggestions. Click add, and they'll be able to add suggestions. But this is all that I wanted to show you in this tutorial. Like I said before, you can take it as far as you want to take it. So if you have any ideas for a future app that you want me to kind of clone, or build a similar app that exists as a website right now, or maybe there's an app for it, and you want me to go out and build an app like that, let me know in the comments below. I would love to do another video, another tutorial that shows you how to do it for your specific use case. I do plan on making a video of how to do it and getting data from an external API. I think that's going to be very, very useful. But other than that, that is all that I have for you guys for today. Really, really hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about everything. Let me know if you like this method, if you didn't like this video, if you enjoyed, you learned something new, leave me a comment. Let me know that you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. This channel is all about no code. I'm going to be making tons of more videos where we're going to be building all kinds of apps, all kinds of interesting things without writing a single line of code. So you do not need a computer science background in order to go out and to build the app of your dreams. All right. So again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.